And following the shocking Hema Committee report that has rocked the Kerala film industry, actress Samantha Ruth has called on the Telangana government to release a similar report on sexual harassment within the Telugu film industry. She believes that this would aid in developing policies and creating a safer working environment for women. Actor Amala Paul has also expressed similar concerns in an exclusive interview with Mirror Now. Listen in.
I'm as shocked as the entire nation now. It was heartbreaking to hear. I mean, a lot of things that we've already seen, and in terms of junior artists, not getting proper hygiene places to for their basic needs, and changing and all that. Even personally, even when we used to shoot like in a different or different outdoor location, I would give my vanity. If there are ladies I see around who don't have facilities, I would personally ask them to come and use my vanity, because as a woman I know how important and how difficult it is. So, and then other sexual harassment thing and all, when I heard in the report, it was very heartbreaking and shocking. I really hope that this has come to this point, and with a lot of effort the report is out. So I'm just praying that this become fruitful, and all the efforts pays off, and the right justification will be served. That's what we want, right?
Yeah, this is mainly because of WCC. A lot of your colleagues are part of WCC. Yes. So, do you think something like this should be introduced in other film industries as well?
I feel industry is the industry, even though like largely it is male dominated and male centric. There are a lot of women who are working in every department. So now, because of WCC, all these women could come and express and talk about all the dark stories that they've been suppressing and they've been hiding, and which, even though they tried, they didn't have space and opportunity to express. So yes, of course, this kind of I feel it can be one. It doesn't have to be like women and men communities, but if we can bring it up together and give equal importance, like for the jury members, or like the leaders, if we can give, that's the rule, right, 50%. So if we can bring that and have the right people, sensible people who can make things make happen comfortably, I think it should be practiced.
We're crossing over to my colleague Jay Lakshmi, who's been tracking all of the developments in the aftermath of the release of the Hema Committee report. Jay Lakshmi, good morning. Let's talk about actor Mohanlal and the statements that he had to make yesterday, because one of the biggest criticisms, of course, whenever it comes to a movement like this, I mean, we're seeing a resurge of Me Too in the Kerala film industry at this point. But one of the biggest criticisms is the silence of men. And again, especially when it comes to how they connect with other men, where they don't say anything. So when it comes to actor Mohanlal and the statements that he has made, how is it being received?
As you correctly said, Aisha, Mohanlal did come forward after so many days, and he did speak against everything. He said that, whatever happened, in fact, he admitted the fact that there have been mistakes from the part of AMMA as well. That is something he clarified. That he also said that, as a person, he cannot take responsibility for what the individuals did. Even though he's the president of AMMA, he is clearly against such crime. But again, as a person, he cannot responsibility for everything. And the only right decision at that point of time, they felt, was to resign. Everybody to resign, because it was not one or two isolated cases. The cases were exploding in multiple numbers. Mainly allegations were on the executive body members. The only correct step they thought at that time was to do a mass resignation and to form a completely new body, which is, equal and which has everybody's consent as well. So this is the clarification that Mohanlal gave yesterday. But what we understand is that, the people and the society in general is definitely not ready to accept it, because such serious and such huge crimes, aggrieved crimes against women who are working in the industry, and in general, the protection and safety of women who are working, is something that is very less ensured what the society also believes, and not only the society, the people who are, working in the industry, the actresses are saying the same thing. There's no point in formulating a committee. There's no point in having an ICC if the complaints cannot be raised and if the complaints cannot be checked. AMMA considers themselves to be a movie body for the protection of actors who are working in that. Again, if they cannot help or if they cannot clearly formulate rules and regulations to do that, then there's no point of such an association, is what the actors who have gone through all of these things say. So these are the blame
Absolutely.
game
Jay
continues
Lakshmi,
to
thank you
happen.
so much for joining us, getting us those key takeaways, especially when it comes to the crucial information related to this. And we'll continue to